All right, so what I'm going to demonstrate here as a taping technique for the plantar fascia area can be effective for plantar fasciitis, heel pain, usually the indications for that. It is usually good for kind of acute pain to just reduce pain a little bit, um, and probably use it temporarily with most people, but can be effective to reduce the pain. So what you're going to do is grab your Kinesio tape. I usually like to use Kinesio tape for this technique, and measure it out so that I measure from the back of my heel up to about the ball of my foot. So I'm going to cut a piece off there, and then I'm going to cut it into 4 little strips like this. You can see, call them like little fingers or extensions there. And sometimes you can even buy tape that's already cut like this. So that's tape piece number 1. Number 2 is just a regular old, they call this an ice strip, which is just all we're doing is just a regular piece of tape. I measured that by going about the width of my foot and a couple inches on either side. So first we're going to apply the one with the little extensions. So what I like to do here is to kind of rip the tape at each little finger here and then peel back the edges on all the sides. I just kind of fold them back. All right, and now we're going to anchor the part that is not cut, the 4 of the 4, down here to the bottom of the heel. So I'm going to pull back all the paper from it and anchor that onto my heel with no tension. These next little extensions that come out, we're going to pull back till we have about an inch left, and then we're going to lay it down with no tension, just the way that it comes off the paper. And I'll put one kind of in line with the inside portion of the foot. The next one will just be slightly over, because our goal is to kind of fan out the taping. And I have a few folds in there, and I'd like to avoid that if I can, because we do weight bear on the surface, so you want to try to avoid folds if you can. And if you do find that you go a little long like I did there, you can trim it up so that it's not going in between your toes. That's just not very comfortable. So for example, for this one here, I probably would trim up a little bit. So again, no tension when you put it down. You're just taking what's called the paper off tension and then applying it to your foot. And then once it's there, you want to rub it down to make sure it stays there. Sometimes it's hard to get it to stick here because especially however many times you take your shoes and socks off in a day, those kinds of things. So that's the first part of the taping. And then the second part, you're going to take the ice strip that you made earlier. We're going to tear it in the middle. Peel back the edges so that we leave at least 1 inch on the sides for our anchor. Then we're going to pull it to about 90% tension. So 100% tension would be pulling this tape as far as it can go. I'm just going to back off of that just a hair. And then it's going to go right over our arch, just like that. I'm going to move my foot out just a little bit. And then those last little bits we're going to anchor down with no tension. And that's it. Rub that down. And now you've got a nice taping that'll make your arch feel a little bit more secure and hopefully reduce some pain.